have something to shop off the other side, and I'll jump us in with the intro. And we got this thing pulled up. Alright. Hello, everybody. It's the end of E3. E3 officially ended yesterday, I believe. And now we're here to talk about it. We're here to basically do a little roundup, shoot the shed on E3. I'm joined here by Jordan,
Hey there.
who's. I guess you do have a Twitter now, right?
I do with it. Yeah.
The updates.
Welcome to the 2000s.
Welcome to
You'll find
welcome to
that
Twitter. Welcome to Twitter. I will give you your. I will. While we talk about E3, I will give you your Twitter, but you do have a Twitter.
You haven't earned it yet.
You haven't earned it yet.
Soon.
Have you tweeted? You haven't even tweeted. Come on, man.
I'm not twitting. I'm sorry, I'm so new to this.
And I'm also joined by Kevin, who does have a
Hello.
Twitter because he's earned it. He's used it before.
We're on a different channel today because I'm a vagrant.
You
Hoodlum, the degenerate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's been evicted from his house.
temporarily, mostly because this week it's Dad's Day, right?
Daddy Day. Is that a thing in Europe?
I think it's international. That's a thing in South America. So yeah.
They have
Oh,
dads-
really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's international, and it's also the same thing. It's like the Mother's Day is the second Sunday of May, and then Dad's Day is the third Sunday of whatever.
Yeah, because dads
Because they got
they're just not good enough for the second Sunday.
no, they gotta wait for the third. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. I mean, we could,
Dang.
but I mean, let's talk about our true dad, Mario. Let's talk about just
Oh,
straight up
you mean
Nintendo.
Miyamoto?
Well, Miyamoto showed up for the rabbits first on
Yeah.
Ubisoft,
Oh,
which was surprising.
oh, rabbits.
At least they had Yoshi was holding like a rocket launcher.
Yeah, they
That's
had-
the only thing I'm gonna say about that. I'm letting
True.
it go.
Yeah.
And they
I'm not
proved
gonna
it's-
I'm waiting for the game to come out for me to have thoughts and opinions on it, because otherwise it could be anything.
I have been looking for more tactics games, and I just never thought it'd be Mario.
With Ubisoft, I mean,
There was
right?
Mario RPG. There was Mario RPG.
Mm.
True, but it's tactics.
Also, we got Daniel repping his Fire Mario hat.
Indeed,
Yeah.
Fire Mario. I didn't. Oh damn it! I wore my Sonic shirt. I mean, nothing.
What?
Nintendo,
No.
Don't watch this. I thought it was because my Zelda shirt's also blue. I didn't even realize. I just grabbed it and like, oh.
Here goes the show. It's over, guys. We had a good run. Nintendo's shutting us down. We didn't show our loyalty.
Didn't. Please.
Oh, no. It's not
Kick me away. But I mean, Nintendo
You're
came
talking about-
right off the gates with this game. Well, like, this is the game that's out of I think the entire press conference was actually shown the most, and the one that like got me the most hype, to be honest.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey is incredible. It looks amazing. It's
Mhm.
like, and then didn't they like show that graphic with all of like the other Marios, and then they like put Mario Odyssey on like the tier of like
Yes.
Mario 64 and like
Yeah.
Mario Sunshine.
I think
like-
that was on the Treehouse stuff, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's a big talk. Like
Yeah.
putting yourself on the same level as Mario 64. That's nuts.
yeah, or
It
the
is.
Sunshine and those. But I think Nintendo has
Insane.
had that, like, they've done that whenever they switch to a new console and the first Mario game comes out. It's exactly like it's the big Mario game. It happened with it happened with the 64, with the GameCube, with the Wii when it went to Space. I forgot what it was called. Galaxy.
Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
They actually made a second one of those as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna take this off because it's actually kind of comfortable. And it's getting windy and cold now too.
All right, we're done talking about Mario.
I mean, no, we're not. You throw lots of things and like
We still have the Yoshi game to cover. Murder has never been more adorable.
It has because it's just Yarn Yoshi. Like it's cute, but I think they're going that direction every single time now.
But like now it's got Yoshi invading homes. Like Yoshi busting down the walls and eating the inhabitants. Like, Yoshi's a freaking SWAT member now.
To be fair, Yoshi's been doing fucked up shit like that for years.
Yeah.
Like
Good
Yeah.
story.
that's Yoshi's MO, man. Yoshi and Kirby, they both just fuck shit up. They just eat everything, and then
Yeah.
like, that's
Talking about Kirby though, there's also an announcement for a game for Kirby for the. It was for the Switch. Yeah, it was multiplayer for the Switch.
yeah. I did see that. It basically looked like updated graphics, Kirby 64 multiplayer, which I'm perfectly okay with. Like that sounds incredible. It looks fun, but I don't know. Like honestly, in terms of like exciting new gameplay, that's probably not where you need to go, because it wasn't that different looking from Kirby 64, which was released like 15 years ago.
Hmm. And there's only so much you can do to Kirby. Sorry, Jordan, go ahead.
Oh, it was just fun as heck. And maybe it's just like a reskin, sort of like how Bethesda has done Skyrim, or just kind of bringing this old idea back into the new era.
I mean, when was the last time they did a proper full Kirby game that wasn't a spin-off for their primary console? Like, have they done one since Kirby 64?
Maybe on handheld.
Yes, that's the thing. It's only been on handheld. I know they've had it for the 3DS and the DS, but did the Wii... I don't remember if the Wii U
Think
got
so.
a Kirby. Did it?
I don't remember
I
that.
don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. But honestly, like, actually, I think the Wii did have a Kirby. I just recall the
Oh,
bug.
sorry, the Wii U did have one. Wii U
Return
and the
to
Rainbow
Dream.
Curse. Who
Yeah,
has
but-
heard of that game? No one.
Was it? Wait, was it the one with the? Was it because it might be a port from the 3DS? I remember there being a Rainbow Curse on the 3DS too. Was it
Oh,
the
isn't
one where you
that
draw
the
on
one
the
where
screen?
Kirby's just a ball and
Yeah.
draw it? Yeah, see, that's not a real game. It's a spin-off. I consider that a
It's
spin-off.
It's a port, if anything, because that was already done on the 3D on the 2DS. I mean the DS.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So honestly, it looks good just because it's multiplayer too, and I think multiplayer games are gonna sell well on the Switch because it's something that you can bring over, play with some people, and then you can but you can also play on your train back home or whatever. Like it's not reserved to only, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and play Breath of the Wild or anything. It's also something that, hey, I'm playing this game that you also want to play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I am glad that Nintendo's kind of ushering back, the return of couch co-op almost, like with all of these games that are good for that. Like you got Mario Kart, you got Puyo Puyo Tetris,
Snipper clips.
Snipper Clips.
Snipper Clips.
Arms is a good one, personally. I tried playing Arms, and that's going to be fun as fuck. That actually just came out yesterday.
Yeah, that did,
Uh,
yeah.
And then what else is coming? There was something else that's coming that's going to be good co-op. I can't remember it right now.
There's a lot that are coming that I feel are gonna be pretty good for that for the co-op, and I'm glad that Nintendo's seeing the possibility on that. I mean, they've had the Switch with them for a while at their office, and you'll imagine that they give it to their employees, and then they see the reaction of employees just sitting next to each other or something. They're like, hey, we need to make games that promote that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then there were the big announcements. There were the, like, announced but not really show much of it. First with
Mhm.
the hardcore, I mean the core Pokemon RPG on the Switch. That was just
Yeah, I mean, I like how they highlighted it because they're like, hey guys, this isn't Pokemon Coliseum, this isn't Pokemon Puzzle or anything like that, and I hope that they do, like a full mainline story or like same thing as they've been doing on the handhelds for years for the Switch, because people have been begging for that since ever since the Wii. Honestly, like people have been asking for a Pokemon in a home console for a very, very long time, and then we get crap like Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Coliseum,
Pokemon
like
XD
the
on
puzzle
the
shit, Pokemon XD. You got the mystery dungeon. Like milk the shit out of it, but they're finally giving us what we want.
I mean, we think because all they said it's core RPG. They didn't even show a picture of hopefully it's what we want, but you never know with Nintendo just pulling it out
Nintendo makes it's. I hope they're not pulling the same shit that they did with Star Fox, and they're like, "Hey, we're making a new Star Fox. Also, it's terrible."
That's the thing. That's the thing. And then there's another one that was also just drop the name and nothing else. But at least this one had a 14-second trailer, which was Metroid Prime 4. It's 4, and that is not a prime number, but it's 4.
And that's pretty much what they showed. That's it. We know it's there, and it's 4.
And it's in production.
The number 4 was very prominent.
Do we have a guess, just wild guess, from when you think either of these games are gonna be released?
I think that Metroid Prime 4 is going to come out first.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be Q4 2018 or as late as Q2 2019.
All right. I agree. You, Jordan? You have any for either or?
Nintendo is so eccentric. I don't know. I can't say, but I'd say probably a year. I give them a year, just so it stays fresh with everybody.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I've noticed with the Switch. Nintendo's release schedule seems a lot more meticulous than it has been in the past, because it seems like, probably about it's been a month or two since we had an announcement for the Switch. I'm running out of games to play or whatever, and then Nintendo's like, hey, here, have this. More games.
Yeah.
You got some shit to look forward to again, except now this time with E3, we have Mario Odyssey coming out this year. We have Metroid Prime and the Pokemon whatever coming out sometime. See, the thing is, it's like they're playing the long game now, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But the thing is, the usual release schedule for a main story Pokemon RPG, not none of that remake shit, is nowadays it's somewhere between 2 and 3 years.
Yeah.
Because that was about the time between Pokemon X and Y and Pokemon Sun and Moon. And honestly, those both of those games were groundbreaking for the Pokemon series. It was crazy. It's Pokemon X and Y introduced the Mega Evolution, the 3D overworld, and Sun and Moon introduced alternate evolutions. So then it's what do you got next? It's
yeah. Plus it's
right.
It's the Switch. It's a portable console, but it's what they're calling their main console. They're still gonna support the 3DS, whatever that means. You better bring your big punches on that, big changes, or no, lots of new features. It's also a lot more powerful than your portable consoles that also had it. So graphics wise, where you gonna go, let's see. But that's just in the future.
No.
Huh?
Oh, fun.
No, I was just saying that's just in the future. They haven't
yeah.
said much.
Yeah. There's no new handhelds coming out, I guess, from Nintendo, but I guess the Switch is kind of like a handheld as well as a console.
This is my hand.
Shit, right
But
though.
hey, Nintendo also announced this week that they're going to be supporting the 3DS through 2019. It's there for the long haul, man.
It is
Yeah,
there. It is there, but
but
honestly,
nobody-
it wouldn't surprise
like
you
it
if they
always
go
gave me.
this way. Sorry.
I know, truly.
Mm,
And so like I used to always carry my Game Boy with me, and now it's a console. You put it on your TV.
yeah. Honestly, the best metaphor I've heard is this is a tablet. Like it's just a Nintendo tablet, and it makes perfect sense. And tablets are portable, but they're also laptop replacements. So this is portable, but it can also be your main stage console. You put in your dog or you connect it to a TV. Still good. You still have the Pro controller, like a legit controller. That's never been like another controller for your Game Boy or something. And
Yeah.
I also want to talk about the Breath of the Wild DLC that they showed, because even though there's no games coming until later summer, like there's ARMS and Splatoon, but I feel like those are kind of hey cat, those are kind
Yeah,
of like let's hold up, like we can put this out. I don't feel they're gonna be fully complete when they're out. Those are what seems like Nintendo's gonna wait for the community to give some feedback, change some maps, change some things. But the Breath
And
of the
like in the
Wild
E3
DLC,
fashion, you gotta have the DLC announcement.
yeah, no.
Nintendo's.
The thing is that this looks like legit, like Bethesda level of DLC. Like, it's good, it's full, it's gonna extend your gameplay. It's gonna if you
What do you mean by Bethesda level DLC? Do you
Okay,
mean
not
Bethesda
like-
level
like-
DLC 2016 or Bethesda 2013, back when Skyrim was still kind of new? Even then, it wasn't.
I'm talking
Because for
like
those that don't remember, Skyrim came out in 2011.
yeah, it was the release
Let's
date
make
of
it
that
again.
11
And again.
11 11.
And again.
I'm talking about Bethesda 2013 to 2014, maybe like those like here like the Skyrim vampire stuff, like here's another main story quest and all, like other stuff you can do, because honestly the master trials with the trial of the sword seems cool. The master mode not only making enemies harder, but making and putting enemies where they shouldn't be, like creating larger mobs or something
Yeah.
like that. Seems cool. And then costumes. Who doesn't love costumes?
Gotta have hats.
You can be whatchamacallit, what's its name? Tingle. Yeah. You can be Tingle.
Tingle?
And maybe you can dress up as the Dragonborn, because in Skyrim you can be Zelda.
Yeah.
And by Zelda, I mean Link. Wait, no, it's Zelda. Zelda's the boy, right?
Hold on, I gotta change this some real quick. Oh wait, that's the other one.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, there. Alright. So Jordan, there's also another DLC coming in the winter, and it also looks great. It's gonna be more story DLC, but Alright. I think this is gonna be good enough to hold off those people, because if you bought a Switch right now, it's for Zelda. Like, that's the only reason you ever got a Switch right now. So this should be
Don't talk
good
about
enough.
Bomberman. Don't bring up Bomberman. I swear that music drove one of my friends insane.
Yeah, because that game is so goddamn difficult for no reason.
Yeah, truly.
But watching computers fight each other on multiplayer is hilarious, I have to say.
They also showed Rocket League, which I think it's perfect game for the Switch. Like, just straight up
Yeah.
the perfect game for the Switch.
I actually have not purchased Rocket League yet, so this is probably the time to be picking it up.
Yeah. It's,
Oh,
you're gonna get exclusive game skins. And yeah, you were gonna ask?
is it cross-platform?
Mm.
Like, can you play it on the PC?
You can
against
play
people-
PC players, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that is really awesome.
There's crossplay with Xbox and PC. Because PS4, I mean Sony just, I mean, Sonny, do you remember this shirt? Like, do you remember this shirt?
Yeah.
But no, they ask. They ask.
Now we got the Nindies.
the Nindies. Yeah, now we
The
have the
Nindies.
Nindies. The Nindies.
Oh. Speaking of indies, did you see the game where it's like you control a hole and it's like Katamari Damacy, but you're a hole.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The hole gets bigger. It looks like so
Yeah.
much.
And you want shit to fall into the hole.
Yeah, and you just like eat shit in your hole.
I don't remember what it was called, but I know what you're talking about. It looks funny as fuck.
Like whole game and hope nothing
Yeah,
terrible.
it just reminded me like of those, like internet flash games where it's just like
Yeah.
you click on something and then something happens and then you set off like this chain reaction.
Yeah, just for
Except-
clicking and looking. And
Yeah,
looking for
except
the
now
Nintendo.
you're a hole. Haven't you
Except-
all like they're like just imagine the meeting. They're like, we could use some new IP. Like what's missing? Like what have you not played as yet? A
The-
hole.
Apparently it's called Donut County, I think.
Yeah, just like
Yeah, Donut County.
for years, gamers have been
Donut
falling
County.
into holes in platformers, in RPGs and everything. You just fall into those fucking holes. Now you're the hole.
Yeah,
Be
now
the
you're-
hole.
Wait, is that a thing for the Switch?
No, it is not.
Oh.
I'm looking at it right now, and it might come
Kind of-
later on.
It's
But
answered.
yeah,
I think it'd be a great game for the Twitch. You could have competing holes. One hole of a different color.
in-game exclusive items and stuff. Your hole can have like a mustache for Mario.
Wait, so for the exclusives for Rocket League, is it going to be something? It's going to be like you're going to have a
Hats.
Mario hat, right?
Yeah,
Like
Mario
that's
hats.
obviously them.
They only showed the Mario hat, but they say they're
Mm.
working on more exclusives. So it's gonna be like you can imagine Mario hat, maybe like a Bowser car.
Yeah,
Mario
or
Kart?
the cars from fucking Mario Kart. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
It's
That's
perfect.
That's what I was, like, and it's just gonna be like pretty cool. You're gonna be able to customize it. So that was Nintendo. I think presentation wise, they did great. They're like, okay, maybe we don't have a lot to show like on the main presentation, on the build up hype or anything. Like we only have these little trailers and these little snippets saying that a new Pokemon game is gonna come out on the Switch. Like, so they only kept the actual presentation going for 25 minutes, and then they resorted to Treehouse the rest of the day.
And I think that's good
Yeah.
because all of the other press conferences, they have this cringy shit. They have all of these actors. And, like, honestly, the way Nintendo presented it was in a way that probably ultimately saved them money because they don't have to pay for this, like, ridiculous stage. They don't have to pay for all of these people that are, like, pretending to enjoy their games and all of these live action videos of somebody playing the game. Except they're more likely than not just staring at a green screen and then they put the game on there after. Like,
Yeah.
they don't have to do any of that production shit. They just show you the games that they have. They tell you about the games that they don't have any footage about, and then they move on.
And then it allows for the Treehouse to show you the gameplay that you want to see. Because seeing a 10-minute, like, I can imagine for one of these conferences, 10 to 15 minutes is the max you want to show a game for when it comes to gameplay. And I rather much see it on the Treehouse, like, where it's like 50 minutes, like there's a VOD, I can go later on and watch it. I can watch it a little bit while it's on, and it allows me to like better understand the game, and it feels more natural because it's usually them going through a level and then beating a boss or something, rather than like forcing 10 minutes of content that might not even be in the release game because they're like, we just gotta make something for E3, So
Mhm.
Nintendo,
I thought,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, dude, their openness was fantastic, and they had people just playing tournaments in like a tournament-like setting. They were
Mhm.
playing farms and the Pokemon Arena.
Mhm.
They even brought out some of the producers to play against people during the Nintendo panel.
Yeah.
They kicked their asses too. The producers, they just destroyed them, and I really admired that. It was more interesting than just watching a pre-made video or watching actors
Like-
espouse everything.
like Bethesda. Like it's one of those things that's like Bethesda.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do this? Like, you know, you don't have that much to show. Just condense it
Yeah.
down.
Yep.
An
Yeah.
conference doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. Like, has to be the amount of content you have for it. I almost dropped my water. Because otherwise you're gonna be like Bethesda. And it's like we have this that nobody really wanted. We have this in VR now. We have yay.
Yeah. And then honestly, like if you are excited for one of the games that happens way later in the conference, like you're sitting there for an hour and then they show what you want to see, like it's kind of a buzzkill. Like it's like
Yeah.
it's more of a finally instead of a yes, you know?
Yeah.
That like you don't
Yeah.
want to feel relieved just because you saw something you were excited about. You want to feel excited.
And then it can happen a la Age of Empires where you're like, no, oh,
Oh,
You know,
whoops.
because you're like big reveal of Microsoft later on. You want to tune in, you know, and then another one like
And you're like, oh my god, they start playing the music, they start showing the visuals, it's like
20th
remastered.
anniversary, all that stuff, and you're like, no.
Womp womp.
Yeah, because you're building up that hype, and then sure, it's a really nice game, and it's like, you know, but it's not what they wanted, and you build up this hype, and people just completely misconstrued it. Yeah,
Hi.
I think we can move to the top 3 now. What?
Yeah, that's all we got for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Let's start from left to right here. So you're on first, Kevin.
Oh, I'm on first.
Yeah.
First, all right. I'm gonna go backwards through my top 3. So for my number 3, I put Mario Odyssey because it's a fucking Mario game. Like, how can that not be in the top 3, man? And like, it looks fun. Like, it looks like it's going to play as well as Super Mario 3D World did, except it's going to have more real content because Super Mario 3D World, it was extremely fun, except you know, it kind of got stale after a little bit because it was basically the same levels over and over again, just with like a little bit of a different gimmick every single time. Versus Super Mario Odyssey, it looks like you're gonna be going like all over the place. Like I don't even know what to expect from that game because it's like, you know, Super Mario Galaxy, like you went to space. It's like, all right, that's the shtick. But like Super Mario Odyssey, it's like where are you gonna end up? Like. And then because I remember last year they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be in New York City as Mario." It's like the fuck.
A big city.
And then for my number 2, I got Anthem. I really hope that this is not like I can't wait to see what they have on this for other platforms, possibly, hopefully, goddamn, better be on the PC. Again, you know, this is another early concept. We don't completely know when this one's coming out. Well, yeah, this one we just don't know when it's coming out at all. But based on, like, you know, looking past the actors and their fucking, oh my god, let's do this. It's like, oh, we got to get more people to join our party, and then 2 people just appear. Like, the gameplay does look fun. Like, you know, an open world, basically like futuristic Monster Hunter type game, which. Funny enough, Anthem is what knocked off Monster Hunter World from my top 3. And at my number 1, I have Dragon Ball Fighter Z because honestly, this was supplemented a little bit by the disappointment I felt when I saw Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite because that game's models look awful. The models look terrible. The animation looks bad. It's like, at that point, I'm sure the gameplay is fine. Like that, do not have a single doubt about. But the thing is, at that point, why not go play Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Like you have a game that looks better, is a lot cheaper to buy, and is out right now. And another thing is that, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite has all these DLC. It's like, fuck that. But Dragon Ball Fighter Z, I like how they're like, it looks great art wise. The gameplay looks fun as fuck. Like, you know, you can finally play as all of your Dragon Ball fighters on a team, just
I
like
did like
fighting
that too.
against other teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you can have Goku, Frieza, and Brawly on a team. Like, what the fuck? That's just gonna be dope.
Yeah.
That's my top 3.
Also, Jordan, stop minimizing Skype. Come back up.
Oh, sorry. One day.
One day. One day. All right. So interesting top 3, because they're not related. Like, you know, there's not like, oh,
Not at all.
I love shooting stuff, so I'm gonna put Anthem and, you know, other shooting games, or they're just.
No, I got a
here-
platformer, a fighting game, and a shooter.
Yeah, and then Anthem we haven't seen that much. Like, so far we know it's Monster Hunter, but is it gonna be something else also? Like, is it gonna have?
Yeah,
to be
we'll see.
All right, my
That
top,
might fall out of my top 3. I don't know.
yeah, my top 3. Um, my ideal top 3 would have been just Metro if I had it Prime 4 had it been announced, like the core Nintendo Pokemon had it been like also shown, and like, you know, whatever. But in reality, it's Wargroove, which is that advanced war tactics style of game, because I loved Advanced Wars. I remember, like, I still talk to the friend who got me into it as soon as that like was showing. Like, I was messaging you just like Advanced Wars for PC, and it's
I was
also
like, "What the fuck?"
and it's also like this, and it's also like it has online content creation. It has the tools in game to create that. So you'll have infinite content. There's always gonna be someone making a level, something online, publishing it, so you can do it. Go through a new campaign, go through that. It has battle editors, and it technically, like, I saw the stream of it while they were playing it this week. The developers, it's basically Advanced Wars, which is exactly what we've been waiting for a while, and it's gonna be on the Nintendo Switch, which is exactly the console I want to play it in. And it's not made on Nintendo, which is confusing, but you know what? Nintendo, like that chip sale, they got my money.
Indies.
Indies. Love indies. Love indies. Showcase. See, fuck you, Sonny. Alright. And because Metroid Prime 4 was only dropped, but not really shown any gameplay, I choose Metroid Samus Returns, which is the one on the 3DS, because I don't see them making a bad Metroid game before they release the hype Metroid game. I see they haven't made a Metroid side scroller in a while, and it's sadly lately it's always been on like a portable device, but that's fine. That's good enough. And it honestly looks like fun. And since we've been playing Hollow Knight, I'm like, I could jump into this. I'll probably get it and try it out. And I love Metroid. I love the sci-fi style of it. That's also a lot of what I like Metroid. So to have a side scroller like that, and knowing that they're using it to build some sort of hype for the game that's probably gonna be released next year, I think this game is gonna be good, and it's gonna satisfy every side scroller Metroid need. And then the last one is not one that I've talked to much, but the way Sony has been releasing it little by little, and I like where the story is going and everything, is God of War. God of War, like, I remember playing the first one, and it was like mind blowing. It was like you're on the ship with the Hydra, and that's how it starts, and you're like, what the fuck, like, you know.
It's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
It's killing dudes while you're climbing on them.
And at this point, he's killed everybody basically.
Yeah, the Greeks and the Romans are all the gods are dead. The pantheon is just being annihilated, and he's expanding his services to other religions. So now it's the Norse gods, so I guess it's
Watch out, Buddha.
so no list. But but what I really like the story, and the first trilogy, the first and second game felt good. I mean, in the first game you beat the God of War, and then you become the God of War, and then from then going to his downfall, the second game was pretty good, but then the third felt like one of those things that like, well, we have to finish it, like, you know.
Yeah, you gotta finish the fucking fight.
You gotta finish it. You gotta finish the trilogy. You gotta come back from hell, and then playing it. It also felt like, well, I have to finish. Like I've been through 2 games. I gotta finish the third. Given this space between games, I think it's good enough to build a good story. Get people, you know, minds off of God of War, so when they come back, they can experience something new. And it wouldn't surprise me if they grab features from other games that have been released since the last one and this one, which I think it's been like 6 years now or something. If you count God of War 3, not the one after the Ascension or whatever. So those are my top 3. Just games that, like, I would love to put Prime 4 there and all that stuff, but games that they show gameplay or they've announced dates, like, you know, the game
I
the
have
entire
noticed-
plate.
I noticed with your top 3 that the common theme seems to be that they are new versions or additions to classic games.
Yeah, because that's what's popular now, you know, bringing back all stories. And honestly, gaming's just become so saturated, and it's always, you know, the shooter, like, you know, shooters are coming out from 2012 all the way to like 2014. Or every year, Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever. Like, it just gets too saturated. Sometimes I like, you know, let's go back to the basics, adds features that are new to what we've learned through the ages. But, you know, sometimes let's just go back to the basics. Let's go back to the good stories. Let's get, like, you know, we don't need an anthem or whatever. Crossing my
I think
fingers
it's.
there.
I mean, I think it's refreshing that these kinds of games are getting expansions and newer, like, just remakes, kind of, but not really, because, you know, like you said, we get our Call of Duties or Battlefields every year, and it's like, you know, sometimes that's not the game you want a new version of, and it's good to see that these other games that have, you know, people thought have been forgotten just getting some love again.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason. All right, Jordan, will you take us to your top 3?
My 3 are all fighting games. I'll start at the bottom. I guess my least favorite is got to be Wolfenstein 2, the new Order. No, sorry, the new Colossus. It's got a really different take. This has always been kind of a in the shooting genre, killing Nazis, but now the Nazis are like the good guys, quote unquote, the good guys. I don't know, we'll see. But you're definitely gonna kill a lot of Nazis. Wow, I just called the Nazis the good guys. I'm sorry. Oh, they're the norm. That's it.
I mean,
they're
the
the
history, and then that game won. They won.
They won. And I think it's a cool take. And I've always been in the Bethesda camp.
Amazon did
So-
it first.
Fanboy.
I just got to. I've always been with Bethesda ever since freaking Morrowind. Number 2 has got to be Splatoon. Just because, like, did you see the gameplay videos for Splatoon? It looks like so much fun. You got a guy with like a giant paint roller, and he's just like splashing paint on
Runs
people.
over people and smacks them with
He's
it.
rolling around. Yeah, right. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like a good party game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And for my most favorite, it's gotta be Shadow of War, the new Lord of the Rings game. If you saw our last show, you would know how infatuated I am with the Lord of the Rings. And Shadow of War is gonna be cool. I'm a little worried because they're doing some strange things with the lore, so it may not be that cool, but I'm still definitely gonna pick it up and play it. Probably twice to get everything out of it.
But there doesn't seem like there's that many diverse play styles, right? Either you're the bad guy or you're the badder guy, right?
Yeah.
Is
So, like-
that the way how it goes? Because you're the bad guy in that game, right?
You're the good bad guy. So like you're
Okay.
Okay.
the bad guy to be good.
You're
Well,
chaotic. I mean, you're good chaotic, like lawful chaos. No, whatever.
But you're a good guy in that game?
that is a good question because you're like a 4,000-year-old wraith, basically.
Yeah, and I
Come
thought
back
you
from
have the
death.
new ring.
Yeah, and you make a new ring of power, which is supposed to dominate all life. So yeah, I see where you're
Sounds
coming.
kind of evil to me.
I
Yeah,
guess
but
that's the
you're doing
theme
it to
of
like
the lines.
Yeah,
it's
that's fair.
exactly. It's like someone is George Bush was trying to like beat up Trump. Okay, it's like
I like it.
sure,
So
Bush is bad.
interesting
I like-
comparison, but that's
I like
okay.
comparing Trump to Sauron. I think that's pretty, that's a pretty good representation.
Yeah. So,
All right, let's take it to our least favorites.
The
Kevin, you wanna
bottom
start us?
three.
let's
Oh,
the crap.
Mine is I can't wait to say this one. It's Skyrim. Fuck that. Like we're done.
impossible.
Skyrim came out 6 years ago. We're done. No more. God damn it. See, and I am one of the idiots that bought all of the DLC so I could get Skyrim remastered because I'm an idiot. And no more. I will not be buying the one for the Switch.
But
A couple months later, oh hey guys, check it out! I got Skyrim.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be like, "Hey, I'm playing Skyrim on the Switch. Hey, I'm here streaming. I don't have a capture card for this, but I'll just show you. You know."
Just show you what I got.
Your followers just plummet.
Then it's my second bottom three, or my bottom three was Age of Empires, as we were talking about. Like, you both know that I'm a huge fan of RTSs, and it's a dying genre, which is disappointing. And this is kind of like, even though it's another game in the RTS genre, it feels like another nail in the coffin as an RTS player, because it's not new. And it's like, between StarCraft 2's decline, Day 9's RTS game not actually panning out, and then remakes upon fucking remakes of Age of Empires, like, RTS is dead. We're all on the backs of Brood War Remastered at this point.
Yeah,
Truly.
That's how it feels.
Yep.
sadly.
Which is
I'm sure you feel similarly, Jordan, because you have about as much of an RTS background as I do.
Yeah, I mean, I was raised on Brood War and other RTSs like Stronghold. If you ever played it, it was a lot of fun, and it's sad to see it go.
It's just like I can't understand why the genre is going away. Like it's maybe it's too complex or something, but I don't know.
I
You
think
do
that's-
play Dawn of War, which is kind of making a comeback with RTSs.
But the thing is, that's not it doesn't have every feature of an RTS. You know, Dawn of War is more about micromanaging. Like you don't have base, right?
Yeah.
Is it Dawn of
really
War
don't.
just? Is it Dawn of War just like you have a bunch of ancillary buildings? Like you don't have any like home bases that produce troops or anything like. I don't understand how it works. I haven't really played it that much, but I always preferred the Total Annihilations, the Warcrafts,
Yeah.
the Starcrafts.
You find the
Metal
last novel.
Yeah. And then I don't know if I could do this, but all of EA, can I do that? Is that okay?
Sure. That's a game.
All right.
Yeah, it's a game.
But they're DLC. It's free now.
BioWare doesn't count. I know EA owns BioWare, but I'm still looking forward to Anthem.
I mean,
Oh.
the EA press conference was the most boring, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. EA has been sad for a long time. Ever since Origin came out. Oh, jeez.
You mean ever since Origin came out? You mean way before that?
Since before, too. Like, they actually had a good RTS. It was Lord of the Rings RTS. It's actually pretty good.
yeah, you want
Oh.
RTS support EA.
I think it's
There you go.
bad.
Battle for Middle Earth. It was actually decent, surprisingly. But that was like 10 years ago. So-
Well, my bottom three are You know what? I'm gonna leave the first one to last one so that we can discuss it. All right, let's go first to Assassin's Creed, because it's just not even Ubisoft seem to care about it. Like they're like, here, watch the demo later. This is what we got. Like they didn't reveal it on theirs. They revealed it on Xbox first, and then the PC also, like the PC showcase also showed it, and then when it came to actual Ubisoft time, they didn't really like. It's just seems like more Assassin's Creed, which is weird to me because I thought they said we're gonna take a year off and then we're gonna come back with full force and maybe not make it a yearly thing. So I was expecting this Assassin's Creed to really be something that like came back, like brought back the franchise and
Daniel, I got a video for you. I think you should play the video I sent. This describes Assassin's Creed.
Let me get this.
It really does, though. I just wish it was 10 hours long.
Another one.
Trust me, viewers.
Another
this
one.
mission is worth it.
Another
This is what I think about
Another
Assassin's
one.
Creed.
Another one.
They're hearing it right now.
And another one. And another one.
Another one.
And exactly. It's just like I'm tired. Everybody's tired. Just kill the fuck like with Sonic. Just take him out and shoot him.
He's already dead.
Yeah, exactly. You're beating
Not
him.
if we go back in time.
You're beating him, and it's like every time I hit him, blood still comes out, and it's like, yeah, because you're literally just squeezing it out. Like... All right, so that's enough for Creed. My another button 3, and that's because he built that another hype, and he had a good moment on stage. The developer came out and cried because he's been trying to make this game since the first one came out. Because when the first one came out, he said, "I've written a trilogy, and this is what I want to do." But Beyond Good and Evil 2, they announced more than in 2008 when it was first announced, but it was a CGI story, like it wasn't a game. They didn't announce date. We can expect to see it on the next E3. We can probably expect to see it at another E3 after that. Like, it's coming. I hope it's coming now. They were basically like, hey guys, it's not canceled yet. It's still happening, and it's one of those things that's just like I don't wanna we don't need to see that. Just show us the game when it's ready, because this was like Ubisoft sort of like send off, and usually the send off is the big one that builds a lot of hype, like AOE remake or whatever. Like it's supposed to build a lot of hype, and this builds hype, but it kills it right immediately when you see that there's actually no gameplay or date. It's just another like Ubisoft being like, let's make a checkbox for the hype.
So to clarify,
Hype
is
box.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 is on this list not because of Beyond Good and Evil itself, but because of everything surrounding it. Also, right?
Basically, because it's like it's the Half-Life 3, is the
Yeah,
Duke
that's-
Nukem Forever, is
Duke, no, don't say that.
Oh,
I mean, how long are they gonna like? Literally 9
13
years
years.
ago, they
The
showed.
last Guardian came out. Okay, what
And-
more do you want? That proof it can happen. Okay, it can happen.
It's sure, but I'll see it when it's out. When it's like I can buy it and play it, and then I can be like, yeah, it stood the test of time, or maybe this trilogy that was sitting in this guy's bookshelf for like when the first one came out, like 2003, like this thing that's been sitting on someone's bookshelf for a decade, maybe it's all writing, like has he changed it, like what? I don't know anything about this game, and everybody got super hyped for it, and it's like, no, don't, no, you're supporting stuff like this. But
That's fair.
that's more about the context rather than the actual game. I'll probably play it when it comes out. But my first bottom 3, and that's just, it's Detroit Become Human. It's What it's
Ah,
I don't get it. Why?
it's the illusion of choice. It's
androids.
you know, they didn't show, they show gameplay, but it was very scripted. And even during the gameplay, they like took, like, they zoomed out the camera to show like the wireframe of all the choices and everything. So it's more all of those, like, you can make your own story, but in the end it's all the choices we've made and all the dialogue we've written, and it's the same story. Like in Beyond Two Souls, you could try, like, in Beyond Two Souls, there was no way for you to change the love interest. Like you could literally
Yeah.
try to bum it out. Like you just cock block that guy all day long, and then it's like fast forward a few like months afterwards, and they're like together and whatnot. It's like
It's like, how the fuck does this happen? It's
Yeah,
like, there's no way.
there's no
But-
way.
But at the same time, these are the devs. This is the studio that made Heavy Rain. You know that, right? Like,
Yeah,
Heavy
I know.
Rain, it's not an illusion of choice in
It's-
that game.
It's not, but it's more, that one focused more about the gameplay too. Like that one was a lot more about sort of discovering the mystery and finding out the things through different characters too.
That's true. Because there was a. Is it because. Okay, so is this. I'm beginning to understand why this is here. Is it because that the other game, like Heavy Rain, for example, that one is okay because it has more of a narrative background versus Detroit Become Human. The way they're marketing it is more like, you know, you can do this or you can do this and everything will affect everything else. And it's like, you know, there's no solid core to it
The world's
that's
not
holding it all together.
The world's not selling it
That's
for
fair.
me. It's all like robots against humans.
You just don't like Detroit.
Yeah, the sex did like a million, like, you know, that a million times better. There's pro Android graffiti. What the what? Like all these terms just seem like some like marketing dude would like just pull it out of his ass. Oh yeah, pro Android graffiti. Oh yes, yes. Like it didn't involve me in it, and all they showed me that's cool about the gameplay is, oh, the police is coming. Let's pretend we're kissing on this bus stop, or let's run away, or let's hide behind that car. Like, I don't care about. Like, I could do that in GTA too. I could do that exact same thing in GTA.
While
So-
beating people with a dildo.
Those are my 3 bottom 3. The ones that I'm like, should I get?
It's a very contentious bottom 3 there.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I just gotta say, for Detroit Become Human, that they chose androids as a vehicle for their, you know, choiceless game.
Yeah.
As in, an android is just programming. So what choice does the android have? And a game
Well,
is
see,
just
the gist of the game is that they've created artificial intelligence, but the difference is you're an android. So supposedly the brain has been replicated in that game, but that's all we know so far.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they have a little light thing here that like turns into another color when they're like good. I don't, like, it's just a gimmick. Like, why do they need a light to showcase, oh, this android is good or this android is bad, or turn?
Laws, man.
Like they were able to quantify good and evil in actions. Like, oh jeez, it sounds like a kettle of smelly fish to me. But
Let's move on to yours, which are your bottom of the barrel.
the bottom of the barrel. What do you say, mine or Kevin's?
Yours. Yeah.
Yours, I already went.
Mine? Oh snap! Yes. All right. So my least not favorite is is gotta be the Mario Rabbids game. Like, it was just too much for me to see
I'm
Mario.
surprised this made it here because you seem so interested in it.
I'm
Were
interested
you
enough
interested in
to
it because it looked dumb?
have a passion for it. It just looks so stupid from the gameplay that I did see, where they've got DK as the giant rabbit, and it just looks so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Like, I like it. I'm gonna play it. But the reveal at Ubisoft was a lot. Oh crap! I think I just lost you guys. You guys are frozen.
You lost us.
Oh,
Oh,
oh no, we're back. We're back.
oh.
I can hear you. But
I was in a dark.
what I was saying is the reveal of it on Ubisoft was like, I just kept going like, what? What? It's XCOM? What? Why is there a room by the controls?
Right, right. Why are they being led by a Roomba? I don't know. Like, is this real life? Okay. My next one, my second least favorite has got to be the Doom virtual reality remake.
What? It's called VFR, first of all.
What does the F stand for?
Fucking.
Virtual fucking.
I'm actually gonna look it up. I'm curious. Bethesda explains the F in room.
On the wiki, fucking. But it just seemed like a little bit too much. If I ever played it, I'm sure I would get motion sickness from it. And I don't know, playing the new Doom, it wasn't very scary. And I think I would want to really...
Was Doom ever meant to be scary?
It was supposed to be scary. They had one on the Xbox that was actually decently spooky.
That was Doom. Okay, that's fair. But the thing is, that was like the Doom was meant to be a throwback. Like the scary. I think you might be getting your series mixed up here because the Doom series was never meant to be scary. That was the only one in the series that was scary. Yeah, Doom 3 was the only scary one. All of the other ones, it's just like, I'm gonna kick some ass. Let's go.
True. So maybe it's a good thing that it's not scary then. But I'm just not a fan of
I'm
it.
nominating Doom for the next fucking video game book club.
No.
Make you fucking play.
To make me play that thing off. Although I guess it is fitting that
But
they would do on
it's stupid, but it's fun.
with its.
Yeah.
And I guess for my next one, I've got for my least favorite is Battlefront 2. Surprisingly, because I loved Battlefront 1. But I just know EA is going to fuck it up. Like, with their promises with the DLC, it seems like it's too good to be true from EA. Like, they're trying to lure you in, like, some sort of honeypot trap, like a Venus trap, just trying to get you with the DLC. I just know EA is going to ruin it. So that is why it's bottom 3. It's just because of EA.
I agree, and that was one I was considering also for my bottom 3 because I complain a lot about it, but I think I've complained enough about it. Because it's EA, I don't feel like there's a need to name it Battlefront anymore. I don't feel like you just call it something else. It's not Battlefront. It's gonna be fine. Like it's still gonna be a decent game, but that's what people said about
Star
the first
Wars
Battlefield. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Battlefront 2 come out in 2005, Jordan?
Long time ago, yeah.
And the first one was something like 2003 or 4.
Yeah, 2003. And dude, it was a good time. It was when it was LucasArts, and I think they did a really good job with it. But then EA acquired it, and I don't know, just like the online connectivity started going down. The players just became troglodytes. It's EA's subtle corruption as it spreads through the series.
Subtle.
But otherwise, I think E3 had a pretty solid lineup. It was
You
actually.
think it had a solid lineup? I thought this year's E3 was weak as hell.
I thought it was alright.
I think it was good, I think it was good for what it like compared to other E3s. There's been some E3s that have been like pretty still, and I think it was good for where it was placed because I'm pretty sure we're gonna hear a lot of VR for next year. I was expecting this year to be the BR E3, so I think it's sitting in that awkward like right before the big BR E3 where they're gonna make big VR announcements. But overall, when you look at the games that you're like gonna buy in the next year, there's some pretty decent reveal ones.
I mean, honestly, out of the games that I didn't know that I was going to end up buying later this year, it's pretty much Super Mario Odyssey. I think that's the only one.
Yeah, for me it's like Mario & Rabbids.
You're gonna buy that?
Yes.
You're gonna tell us how it is. Tell us how
It
it
might
is.
pan out.
You gotta stream the gameplay. You're gonna have to play it docked though. Sorry.
Stream it.
Okay, sure. Wargroove, I'm gonna get like I tweeted at the devs being like, as soon as something related to like selling this game comes out, I'm buying it. Like
Yeah.
pre-order super, like, you know, someone in the dev team needs $5 to like get a pizza or something, and like, I'm there. Here, have it. You need it.
See, for me, the reason why I think this E3 was so weak is that there was nothing like especially exciting that's like innovative, because usually there's something like that, and I know that Daniel, you like, you know, you're welcoming some of these remakes, but I'm not. Like the remakes, the DLC, like all of these microtransactions, fucking Bethesda releasing this paid mod bullshit. Like I'm tired of it. Like I want to pay for my games in one lump sum, and if that means games costing $60, then do it. Like, just stop pretending like your game costs. Oh no, you know, this game costs $60, but on day one there's a $20 DLC for the rest of the fucking characters. Like, I'm tired of that shit, because it keeps happening.
I mean,
And especially with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, like, they literally found in the files, like, files for other characters that weren't announced yet.
I mean,
like,
have you seen the Assassin's Creed Origin limited edition stuff? Have you?
yes, I have seen that. It's like the most confusing infographic in the world.
Yeah,
And it's all it is. It's telling you what you get on day one. Like, I'm tired of this shit. Like, these people should not be supported. I don't know, but that's just why I think it was so weak. Like, there were a lot of great things that came out of this C3. Don't get me wrong, but that behavior is just being supported by people's dollars. Like, there's nothing being done about it. And this E3, the fact that they showed up this much in this E3 proves that. Like, that's all it is right now. It's insane, and I don't appreciate it.
Well, but at the same time, there's games like, I don't expect Wargroove to have one of those. Sure, it's an Indian, it's not like big name. I don't expect Mario Odyssey to have that one. Hopefully not Mario and Rabbids, but we don't know from Ubisoft. Although I rely on Nintendo to like hold it apart.
Yeah.
Because I'm totally down for buying limited editions that give me either simple skin, like, you know, graphical changes when it comes to skins or something, not any combat modifier, or actual physical, you know, like things that I can hold in my hand, like this fruit.
And all the Persona 5 things.
Yeah,
Like, shit like that.
Exactly. Not something that's like, okay, if I want to get the full game though, I need to spend $60 more.
See, the thing there is, that's also the consumer's fault, because back in the day, you know, that was what you got when you had a limited edition something. Like, you got a steel, you had like a steel game case or something like that. You had a soundtrack that came with it or something, and then people were like, I want something in the game. Like, you know, I want something that impacts the game. Why would I buy something if it doesn't make me better in the game? And like, as a result, this is what we get. And now that's like number one of the, you know, day one fucking purchases. Like, you get all of this gimmicky shit that gets bundled into it, and it affects gameplay, and I can't stand that. Like, it's just, give me the fucking game. Like, I should be able to play the whole game with the base model, right? Like, but for many games that's not the case anymore. That's frustrating.
I think to solve that, you should definitely start looking towards indie games.
Exactly.
They're not being motivated by microtransactions, by subscriptions, and they don't have this huge industry around them. They don't have as many employees to pay, anything like that. And there were some really, really great indie games at this E3. Like we were talking about, the donut game where you play as a whole.
Yeah.
There were actually quite a few.
Yeah, I do appreciate what the
There's one
indie
where-
devs have.
Yeah, like there's one where you just like this giant robot and you just walk around and look at things and explore the world.
Mhm.
But like it's just a series of mind tricks on you.
Yeah.
like
They're
like
like,
magic eye puzzles.
mhm.
There's something
Or
about
the winner
Animorph.
of E3, Nintendo, who just I think they don't have time to make a day one DLC because if they could they would, but they're like, we gotta put the Mario Odyssey out, we gotta put Zelda out. Later on we can worry about DLC, and they're actually fairly priced, I think, compared to what
Yeah.
exclusive and everything. But they're like,
Well, see, the thing is, the difference with Nintendo is it seems like they plan the DLC after the matter, and they don't really like, it's like we're
Yeah.
going to make DLC. Is it finished yet? No, because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Right. It's not just
And see, Michael over here in the chat, he's saying Nintendo is
Oh.
crazy with DLC, but the difference between Nintendo and the other people are that more often than not, Nintendo's DLC are actually meaningful, and they're not day one edition. If you didn't pre-order this, you're gonna have to buy it to get the rest of the game.
Fire Emblem Echoes, as Wamo was saying, that is okay.
Is it?
Nintendo Mobile, it's in another sort of category, I feel, because they're just applying to the mobile model where you have to keep coming to the game, but at the same time you can progress without it. Or is that Heroes?
Were
No,
any of
that's
the DLC
Warriors.
for that game day one?
That's Heroes. No, I'm talking about Fire. He's talking about Echoes.
Yeah, I know. No, Echoes is the one for the 3DS. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what he's talking about. But the thing
I
is,
think-
those weren't day one DLC.
I don't believe.
I'm
so.
complaining about day one DLC. I'm fine with DLC as long as it's like meaningful.
But basically, what you want is when you go out and buy the game, it's gonna be the same game that whether you spend $60 to whether you spend 120 for the limited edition or 800 for the Assassin's Creed crazy. Like you want that whoever spent that much money, you're getting the game rather than. But to get the real game, you gotta buy this edition. Oh, but you want the game
Yeah.
with this? Okay, so you gotta buy this edition. Like,
I do have to say that that's actually a real like Fire Emblem Echoes is a good example for where Nintendo really fucks up with DLC because that game does have way too much DLC. There's like 20 packs and it came out in April.
Are they actually meaningful? Like, or are they just cosmetic?
They're
DLC.
not cosmetic. That's so I will have to concede to Wamu and say that he's right on that.
So I guess everybody does it, honestly, except for indie games.
Yeah, they can't afford to. And,
Exactly.
like it's a little bit of a shame that they can't afford to, but it's like
honest.
good. Make your fucking game and make it finished.
You might get
Like even Hollow Knight, they're releasing a new patch for
Awesome,
free
yeah.
in 2 weeks or something like that.
faster
Well,
than light
great
For
did it.
content.
Faster than light did it.
Terraria. I think
Terraria.
Terraria is the
my
golden
God.
standard. The miles you get out of that game purchase, that is probably the most valuable
make
game purchase
money?
most
Like,
I've ever
I
made. Like
thought I
that's a
got
great
some
question.
of it.
How do
Oh.
they make money? That game came out in 2011, 2012, and it got updates a couple months ago. What the fuck?
And like,
it's still like,
I forget which
so
one
it's
it
always
was.
DLC, it's the same.
Yeah, that's weird.
Paid. Oh,
But-
go on.
I also want to talk about the topic of VR. This E3 didn't feature that much VR except from Bethesda and a little bit on Ubisoft.
Ooh.
But I feel like VR is coming. Like there's a force coming
yeah.
behind that, just full on. And Bethesda's jumping right on the ship. And PS also had their VR feature, but PSVR is sort of like, hey guys, we're doing our VR over here. Don't look over there at HTC or something. We're doing our own, don't worry. Well, I think HTC Vive and Oculus Rift are gonna be the main platforms of VR.
Was the new Star Trek game at the C3? I didn't see it.
No, that one came
I
out
don't think so.
That one
It's
came
already
out,
out. E3 is
uh,
more
it's
already out.
conceptual.
and I
Star
was
Trek Bridge Crew. Oh, it's
Yeah.
already out. Damn.
and I was
Yeah,
expecting,
E3 is more conceptual.
yeah, I was
Hmm,
expecting
hmm.
if anything to see like DLC for it or expansion or something, but not really. Nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see too much VR either,
Hmm?
except for Doom.
I have to say your hate on the Doom VR is a little weird because I like out of all of the VR that I saw at E3, that was actually my favorite one. Like of
Yeah.
any game that I'd play on VR, it would probably be Doom. It'd be disorienting as hell and make me throw up, but it would be fun.
Yeah. But I think next E3 we're gonna see a lot more VR from big developers like EA, like Bethesda. Well, this should be out already. The only one that's not gonna be on the bandwagon is Nintendo because they don't have anything
You
capable
don't need
of
your
it.
fucking VR.
They don't need your fucking VR. But imagine like, okay,
You get to
Metroid
see-
Prime. I was gonna say Mario, but I'm like, no.
You get to see through Mario's eyes. It's just this psychedelic wasteland.
Or it's like you see how in Mario Odyssey he can take over like humans. That happens to you, like in VR. You
Oh.
see Mario just jump into you, and you go into Mario. So, yeah.
It's like I'm in my house. What? What? Jump into the toilet.
Yeah, you just have a hat and a mustache and a Mario mustache everywhere you go. But that was E3. And anything you guys gonna comment on this year's E3 was it was quite a week, even though it wasn't the best E3. I don't think it was the worst either, but it was still
Agreed.
exciting to stay up, except for Bethesda.
Nidhogg 2 was showcased this E3. If you ever play Nidhogg, you should go buy it on Steam. It's the best $10 you ever
And
spent.
my honorable mention goes to Mountain Blade Bannerlord because I fucking love Mountain Blade. They're making another one, and I'm excited. And it's because that's not just about the combat. For people that don't know, Mountain Blade had a single player mode. Very few people seem to know this for some reason because everybody only played the multiplayer. But you can spend money on troops and like manage all of that stuff, and I like that kind of game once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And the low gravity servers.
Yeah, exactly. You play that game for like the server crazy fun that you get out of it,
Yeah.
you know. You
Mhm.
don't play, and you can also play it RPG style, but I think you play mostly like I forget which one is the RPG. Not Total War. Something like that. There's one that's like all
Which
about.
one? Are you talking about the fighting or the
oh.
RPG element?
Like For Honor.
No, there's one that's like. What I mean by RPG is like literally role play. Like
Oh.
literally you send in like I forget what it's called.
I think that was a mod of Mountain Blade, wasn't it?
Skyrim?
No, it wasn't. It was literally like it was like Arma, but for that.
Oh, dude, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
I just don't remember, and I'm probably not
No.
gonna be able to find it this way. Anyway, that was E3. Hoping for the next year to be a little bit better, a little bit hype, and there were announcements that
Most definitely.
are probably gonna make it that way. But so far this is what we have, and it's the games we're gonna buy for next year, or the games we're gonna talk
Plenty
about.
of things
this
to
year.
look forward to. Yep.
Anyway, that's gonna be it for the Shoot the Shed. It's a smaller edition. It's a roundup. We're not gonna go through our we did not go through our main topics as always, because now we're gonna move on to Video Games Book Club. And do we want to take a break right before that? Get some water. Have a slice
Well,
of this
we're not
pizza
gonna go.
and
We're
some-
not gonna go right into it. Jordan and I have to
Yeah.
relocate. We're
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
be
that's true,
moving
that's
on over to a friend's place where we're gonna have the video game book club meeting for Hollow Knight,
Mhm.
and that's going to start at 5 p.m. Central. So be sure to tune in from that. And then I believe after our short break here, Daniel's gonna be playing Hollow Knight.
The video game book. Well, I'm gonna eat first, and then I come back and start playing Hollow Knight.
No, you can do that on Twitch now. Just make it social eating.
I mean, I can do it. Yeah, sure. Actually, I can just put the Be Right Back screen. like this. Oh, that's not the one. Look at that one. It's just VRV. Yeah. Do you like that screen? That was just me playing with the concept and a different background that I was playing with as well.
Oh,
All right, but to catch the Hollow Knight Video Game Book Club meeting, we're going to be on this channel
Right here.
because I am traveling this weekend, so y'all don't have to go anywhere, actually. Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I'm just gonna put the BRB and some music. Thank you guys
See
for
you.
being here.